Ellie was a curious little girl with a heart full of wonder and eyes that sparkled with imagination. She lived in a quaint village where the sky stretched as far as her dreams could take her. Every afternoon, Ellie found herself lying on a soft patch of grass, gazing up at the clouds as they floated lazily across the vast, blue sky. The clouds, in all their fluffy shapes, were like dreams drifting above her. One particularly starry night, as Ellie snuggled under her warm quilt, she couldn't stop thinking about those clouds. Slowly, she drifted into a deep sleep, carried away by dreams of cotton candy clouds and dance-like breezes. In her dream, she discovered a magical ladder made of shimmering stars and moonlight beams that spiraled up into the sky. Filled with excitement and determination, she began to climb. The ladder felt cool and tingly beneath her fingers, like holding a piece of the night itself. As she climbed higher, Ellie could see her village fading into a tiny speck below. The world seemed so small from up here, and the clouds were so close she could almost touch them. Each step she took was soft, like stepping on marshmallow pillows that whispered secrets of the sky. Eventually, Ellie reached the very top where the ladder disappeared into a sea of clouds. She walked along the fluffy white floor, giggling as they hugged her feet. "Welcome, Ellie," a gentle voice spoke. It was Mr. Nimbus, the wise and fluffy cloud keeper of the sky. Mr. Nimbus, with his billowing form and friendly raindrop eyes, guided Ellie through the cloudland. He showed her how clouds are born out of dreams and wishes, how they travel across the earth, painting sunsets and sprinkling rain. Ellie listened intently, her heart swelling with joy and awe. Before long, the first rays of morning light began to peek over the horizon, gently waking Ellie from her cloud adventure. As she opened her eyes, back in her cozy bed, she smiled. The dream may have ended, but the magic lingered like a soft melody. From that day on, Ellie continued to gaze at the clouds, but now she carried the secret of their magic in her heart. She knew that somewhere beyond her village, just beyond what the eye could see, was an enchanting world waiting in the clouds, a reminder that dreams could take her anywhere she imagined. Once upon a time, in a little village nestled among green hills, there was a girl named Ellie. She loved watching the sky, especially on days when the clouds told stories. One day, while lying on her favorite hill, Ellie noticed a peculiar ladder reaching into the sky, disappearing into the fluffy clouds above. Curiosity sparkled in her eyes, and she decided to climb. As Ellie reached the top, she was amazed by a world made entirely of clouds. There, standing amidst this wonderland, was the cloud painter, a gentle and kind artist with a canvas of blue and brush of wind. "Welcome, Ellie," greeted the cloud painter. "I've seen you admire my work from afar. Would you like to help me paint the skies today?" Ellie was thrilled and nodded eagerly. The cloud painter handed her a brush made of sunlight. "The clouds are our paint, and the wind will guide your strokes," he explained. At first, Ellie was nervous. She started with small, puffy clouds, shaping them into little sheep that danced across the azure fields. Encouraged by the cloud painter's nods of approval, she grew bolder. Soon, she was painting magnificent dragons that soared high above, their tails stretching across the horizon, and ships that sailed the sea of sky. Time flew by as Ellie painted her heart out. She realized she could shape clouds into anything she dreamed. Each creation was met with praise by birds flying by and rays of sunshine peeking through. As the sun began to set, the sky was filled with a glorious tapestry of stories told through Ellie's clouds. The cloud painter smiled gently and said, "You've done a marvelous job, Ellie. Your dreams have painted the world and brought joy to creatures far and wide." Reluctantly, Ellie climbed back down the ladder, carrying with her a heart full of inspiration and a promise to return. Back on the green hill, she gazed at the sky, now a canvas of her adventures. Every cloud a reminder of the magic she had helped create. From that day on, whenever the villagers saw unusual shapes in the clouds, they would smile and say, "Ellie's been helping the cloud painter again." And Ellie, ever watchful and inspired, continued to dream her dreams across the sky, knowing that her canvas was limitless. Once upon a time, in a little sleepy village on the edge of the Milky Way, lived a curious girl named Ellie. Ellie was no ordinary girl. She had a secret that not many knew about. Ellie possessed a magical paintbrush made from the finest stardust, a gift from a shooting star that had landed in her backyard one mystical night. This was no ordinary paintbrush. Whatever Ellie painted came to life, but only in the dream world. One sunny afternoon, while the golden sun was preparing to set and the stars were beginning their waking dance, Ellie decided to create something special. Today, she thought, I shall paint dreams of wonder and joy. With a hop and a skip, she made her way to her favorite spot on a little hill overlooking the village. There, she laid out her paints made from sunrise dewdrops and midnight moonbeams. She began by painting a cloud into the shape of a unicorn, its mane shimmering like the northern lights. "This will gallop across dreams, spreading magic wherever it goes," she mused. Next, Ellie carefully painted a grand castle with turrets made of the softest clouds. It floated majestically next to the unicorn, a place for royal imagination and fantastical feasts, she giggled to herself. With a flourish, she crafted a rainbow bridging two drifting clouds, bursting with colors brighter than a field of wildflowers. "This rainbow shall be the path to endless adventures," she declared. The sky was her canvas, and as she waved her stardust brush in the air, the sun gave a knowing wink and sank below the horizon. That night, as the moon shone brightly over the village and the stars twinkled their lullabies, children and grown-ups alike drifted into dreams filled with galloping unicorns under moonlit skies. They danced in royal cloud castles and skipped across vibrant rainbows into realms of endless wonder. Thanks to Ellie and her magical paintbrush, the dreams of an entire village were painted with stardust joy. And so, with her stardust paints and boundless imagination, Ellie brought a touch of magic into everyone's hearts, night after night. And in her dreams, the world was anything she wanted it to be. Once upon a time, in a little town nestled between the hills and the sea, lived a young girl named Ellie. She had a white fluffy bear named Fuzzball whom she loved dearly. Fuzzball went everywhere with Ellie, to the park, at mealtime, and even snuggled in bed at night. But Fuzzball was not just an ordinary stuffed animal, for you see, high above in the sky, lived the mysterious cloud painter. The cloud painter was an artist of sorts, skillfully crafting clouds in delightful shapes for the townspeople below to enjoy. The entire town would pause and gaze up in wonder whenever the cloud painter released a new creation. Ellie dreamed of nothing more than seeing Fuzzball's likeness in the sky. "Oh, if only there were a cloud shaped like Fuzzball," she would say to her mom every morning. One particularly bright morning, as the sun painted the sky in hues of pink and orange, the cloud painter took notice of Ellie's wishes, whispering in the breeze. It was time. The painter gathered the fluffiest clouds, the softest wisps of vapor, and began to mold them carefully. As lunchtime arrived, Ellie was playing outside, Fuzzball as always in hand. Suddenly, she felt something magical in the air, a sweetness that danced around her like a gentle melody. She looked up, her eyes widening in disbelief. There it was, a colossal, puffy bear-shaped cloud, gently floating over her town, so perfectly resembling Fuzzball that it was almost as if the beloved bear had taken up residence in the sky.
"Mom, look."
"It's Fuzzball," she squealed, her voice filled with joy. The townspeople marveled at the sight, taking pictures and waving at the grand fluffy bear. From that day on, whenever Ellie looked up at the sky, she thought of that special day and felt the warmth of a cherished friendship reaching down from the clouds. And in the sky, the cloud painter smiled, ready to create more dreams for others, knowing how a simple cloud had brought Ellie so much happiness. And so, every cloud brought a piece of magic, never ceased to dazzle those who remembered to look up, believing in the wonder that floated by. Ellie was a little girl with a heart as bright as a sunny morning. She loved waking up each day, knowing that adventures awaited her just beyond her window. This particular morning, she awoke with a giggle, feeling more joyful than ever. As she stretched her arms wide, a yawn escaped her, and she glanced out the window, only to find something magical. There, drifting lazily by, was a cloud shaped like a bear. Its fluffy contours reminded her of a friendly teddy bear, and she couldn't help but wave at it. "Hello, Mr. Bear Cloud," she called out, her voice bubbling with laughter. Ellie imagined the cloud, high up in the sky, glancing down with a playful wink. Her bedroom was filled with colors, her walls splashed with drawings of fantastical creatures and smiling suns. Her bed, a cozy nest of blankets, seemed to whisper tales of dreams from the night before. She threw off the covers and leaped out of bed with the agility of a little squirrel. Today was special. She felt it in her toes. Ellie skipped to her closet, picking out her favorite yellow sundress, the one with little daisies sewn along the hem. It was her lucky dress, or so she believed. "I bet Mr. Bear Cloud likes daisies," she mused as she dressed hurriedly. Downstairs, the smell of pancakes wafted through the air. Her mom was flipping pancakes in the kitchen, humming a tune that seemed to dance along the beams of sunlight streaming through the window. "Morning, sunshine," her mom greeted Ellie with a smile as warm as the syrup on her plate. "Morning, Mom. You won't believe what I saw today." "A bear cloud," Ellie exclaimed, excitement lacing her words. Her mom chuckled. "A bear cloud? Maybe it's saying welcome to the new day just for you." As Ellie munched on her pancakes, she felt the bear cloud was her secret, her sign that today would be extra wonderful. With each sweet bite, her joy grew, weaving sunlight and fluffy clouds into the fabric of her day. And so, with a heart full of dreams and a head held high, Ellie set out to chase adventures, the bear cloud lingering in the sky as a celestial friend.